We live in such a physical space, right? Where there's things we can touch and feel and science and measure. And we think about the physical realm all the time because we live in it. We experience it. But we don't actually often talk about the spiritual realm. In fact, if I were to say that there is a spiritual realm around us, people might start thinking that I was a little bit, crazy. But we have this story at Christmas, and it's more than just about a physical realm. It's more than just a baby being born in a manger and that kind of thing. It talks about angels. And we don't really have a frame of reference for angels, right? We often have this Christmas story where we talk about angels and think of little babies floating with wings and playing harps. But that's not what angels are. In fact, if you look at scripture, that's really far from the truth. That's kind of minimized what angels actually are. Today in our scripture in 2 Kings, we get a very different perspective of angels. And all throughout scripture, you look at Joshua as he enters into the promised land and he's met by an angel before the walls of Jericho fall down. And you have Hezekiah, who is up against the Assyrian army, who have 185,000 warriors that in one night are wiped out by one angel. That's the kind of angels we're talking about here as we look at the Christmas story. As we look in our carol today, where it says this baby who's Jesus, who was born the King of angels, the one in charge of these angels. That's the kind of spiritual realm that we're talking about. And so today, as you read the story, as you read about Elisha, as you read about him praying that his servants' eyes would be open to see the spiritual realm and to see the reality of the angels all around him. It is my hope for myself and for you today that we would pray and ask that God would open our eyes to the spiritual realm. Because you see, the physical realm, the reality of this world can feel all cumbersome sometimes. It can feel like there's no hope, like maybe Elisha's servant felt like there was no hope around him. This army surrounded him. But sometimes we need to pray and ask that God would open our spiritual eyes so that we can pray and we can invite God, who is all powerful, into the situations where we feel powerless. Would you invite the King of angels, the one who is all powerful, into that situation to transform it? Would you believe in the fact that there is this spiritual realm around us, and that not only does it exist, but in fact Jesus is the King of it, and that he has come into this world to change all reality, yours included?